Alright, what else? Okay, there's the... Oh, can't go in there. This hallway, it's kinda creepy. I can't go to places I should be able to go. It's like some rules being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. Oh shit, right. I just leveled up, but I also have a whole lot of dookie to clean up. I'll leave one dookie. Frankly, I don't know if this investigation is going to last long enough for my pet to evolve. Okay, so the dojo was the only room up here that I could investigate. Guess it's down to the 4th floor for me, then. Nope, but I can't do that either, the fuck? This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Wasn't the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga, too? That's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such a rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as a symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students, who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated, and the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead into that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident, though, be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited, Danganronpa 0. Maybe I should have finished reading that. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy.
What irony! For a genius known as the Ultimate Hope to cause such a gruesome incident, a talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent.
Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But Ultimate Hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one more. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident's really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Not yet. I want to see what else. See what else is... Metal slabs are covering portions of the classroom where windows would usually be. To go so far as to cover the windows like this. Does he really want to keep us locked inside? But why? The clock doesn't have any hands. What time is it right now? We can't see outside, so I don't even know if it's night or day right now. Yeah, I will say, Chapter 4, when they were locked in the funhouse, it was the most Danganronpa-esque... Yeah, probably the most Danganronpa-esque chapter of Danganronpa 2. So I'm assuming as you visit each room and look at the and investigate them, you unlock more rooms. Yeah, see that door? Yeah, that door's unlocked now. Time to watch some wrestling. What the hell's with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. There's another manga just lying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself was that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. You saying the internet's not real? When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. And then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear, as if the era was regressing into more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people could watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain, just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy, a group called Outer Heaven. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talent for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. With this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, this is definitely all made up. Wait, so there were other ultimate despairs besides Junko? The fuck? I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them?
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
Who would enjoy reading something like this?
Oh my, you don't like manga? The high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Enough. What is this messed up manga?
I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you to not remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains.
This incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real. Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world.
I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning.
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here.
He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps... no, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Whew, that was a close one. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Probably the only other room that's open right now. But where would that be? Oh. This one. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either.
Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right?
What are you doing here?
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. T, I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place.
The high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating Hot Pots.
I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What did you need to tell me?
It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about ultimate despair.
Huh?
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
A high school girl?
Lady Junko Enoshima.
Junko Enoshima?
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people will join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her characteristic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So she even recruited people who could have been in a position to neutralize the threat? Then what was their purpose?
What?
Like I said, why did they cause that incident? Doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose.
It was Junko Enoshima's despair.
Huh?
For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, ultimate despairs who'd been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshima's name. For example, They killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy?
Final days?
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department?
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide.
Mass suicide? All 2,357 students?
Oops, there wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. And then we turned him into a robot.
Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair? Junko and Oshima? It doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko and Oshima is already dead. Huh? Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko and Oshima is really dead? What, you didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Yeah, that's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. For a manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko and Oshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko and Oshima is dead. Turns out that a killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students in Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. It's just like us. Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing? The students of Hope's Peak Academy were widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko and Oshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko and Oshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko and Oshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? It's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation. If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this really is an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting somewhere just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life?
Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh?
What? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted to tell you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it. Oh well, I'll just raise the flag.
Flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that?
One step at a time, you're getting closer to clearing my character route.
You're not making sense again.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy! What a surprise! Do you want to hear about the Ultimate Despairs again?
No, I don't really need you to...
Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days.
Oh.
It was actually a term used to describe Junko Enoshima, the original Ultimate Despair.
He just started on his own.
As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor. Yada yada yada.
Alright, that's about enough. Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided I'm not going to be surprised. That's right. There's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Kane's twitching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened? Well, you know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who? I don't know. It's just my gut, after all. It's just my gut! But still, her gut's pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Alright. Okay, the bathrooms are locked. Shame. Music room! What the fuck? This looks like the music room. I feel like I can see something strange. I said something strange! What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? The floating letters here are forming a sentence. Looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we've obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by Ultimate Despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko Enoshima rallying them. In a worst-case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable for us. However, we're still investigating the details of their origins, and we haven't located them either. We'll continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we've received a report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy. 15 students. Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe... I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we've lost. Yeah, I think that think that theory I came up with before about Jabberwock Island being a biodome might be true. A biodome full of holograms. Looks like it's some sort of monument. Why would there be a monument in a music room? And not just that. The mark engraved into the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. No. As long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma. If he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko Enoshima are making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on this island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow, there's still so many mysteries. I wonder... Cube. Okay, I can't go into the headmaster's office. Can't go into those classrooms. What about... Nope. What about... Yes. Oh, I see it. This feels different from a classroom. It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room has that kind of stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that. More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is the guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. I see you. There are letters floating in the air, like the music room from earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same one from earlier. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue in your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko Enoshima, the fact remains that they're incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps there's still a leader on par with Junko Enoshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we'll not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they're discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean this is an order to kill them? That doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess that's understandable. If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, it's pretty much all-out war. If the remnants of despair were the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. Oh hey, it's that guy again. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters just below that. are names I've seen before. There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hiyoko Sayonji is written here. What is this newspaper? What is this? It says Miss Hiyoko Sayonji. This can't mean the same Hiyoko, right? I mean, the Hiyoko we knew. She was much smaller and looked more childlike and was much stinkier. But the photo in this newspaper, in a way I can see the resemblance to Hiyoko, but her height and figure, it's too different from the Hiyoko we knew. What does this mean? This lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hiyoko's older sister or something? No, it says Hiyoko Sayonji here. Oh, then Hiyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name. An older sister with the same first and last name? That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it for yourself. That's not Hiyoko. But did you ever hear her mention an older sister? Well, it's not like I was that close to her or anything.
She doesn't have an older sister. Hiyoko is the Sayonji family's only daughter.
If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? No, there's still too much of a resemblance.
That's Hiyoko.
Huh? What are you saying? Hiyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that.
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt? After she died?
There's no way she could have had a growth spurt.
Well, regardless, all the clues I provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair.
What in the hell? This is the truth? If this is the truth, then the Hiyoko in this newspaper... Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how could there be a photo of a grown-up Hiyoko when she's already dead? Why does this even exist? Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh? If it says subjects, maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did the experiment change Hiyoko's body? No, what am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it sound messed up. What experiment? If it's some kind of experiment, it would mean that we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. But what kind of experiment was it? What is going on? It might be... It better not have anything to do with time travel. Extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into that placard says... Hope's Peak Academy founder, Izuru Kamakura? The founder of Hope's Peak Academy, and this name, Izuru Kamakura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Damn it, another mystery.
Okay, with this, you've totally erased all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime. You shall now go on to the next stage.
Next stage? Damn it, not again. The hallway's different from last time. I guess when that flag Monokuma mentioned is raised, I'll move to a different hallway than the last. But how can he do that? No, now's not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about it is just going to waste my energy. I'll check over here first. the hell? What the hell? Oh. Okay. Can't go in there. I'm getting PTSD. So many things happen in this room. There's a billiard table, a dartboard, and a shelf lined with magazines. It's hard to think a room like this actually exists inside a school. Why is the pool table floating? It's a file with Hope's Peak Academy's seal on it. It says confidential. That means there's a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously Monokuma is responsible. Anyway, I had to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Hope's Peak Academy has conducted rigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of our labor to further our true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation in providing the ultimate education. This plan's been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms, and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the word True Hope left a strong impression on my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Hope's Peak Academy was behind something like that? I don't really get it, but there's something about these words. True hope, huh? This hologram again. What's this one say? It looks like another email passage. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they were all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we were unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported that some are wounded, so it seems certain that they've survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others, so we've decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there's still no solid leads regarding this matter, and we have no new information to report. We will continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. It says here that they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means we should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on this island? Well, I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set this all up.
My, Hajime, if you keep worrying about that, or if you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse.
I don't see how those two are related. It's your fault. What is this hologram thing anyway?
It's exactly what it looks like. They're the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get them.
You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents.
Well, who cares about me anyway? That's not important at all.
There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything to what's happening right now. Let's see. Is there anything on the magazine rack? There's lots of different magazines here. Fashion, motorcycles, martial arts, sports, computer, travel. There's even a magazine about cameras. My hero would have been happy to see this. Is there a clue under the couch cushions? It's a nice, firm-looking leather sofa. Looks like it'd be comfortable for anyone to sleep on. It's a dartboard, but this is still a school, right? Or did Monokuma just randomly make up this place? Okay, I think that's about it. That's about it for this room. Looks like I'm in a different hallway again. I'm pretty used to it by now, but even so... What is this space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, it's just totally disconnected from reality. What the fuck? It's close. It's very close. Someone is coming. Akane's twitching her nose and examining her surroundings. They're definitely real close. At least that's what my gut's telling me. Then answer this with your gut. Is it an enemy or an ally? Let's see. My gut feeling is... They're both! He's right. They're both. Both? What do you mean? I don't know any details. It's just my gut, after all. Well, that's true, I guess. Yep, I knew that. I knew we'd be revisiting the library. This must be a library. Monokuma probably left something here too. I should hurry up and find it. Man, this room looks so empty without Byakuya sitting at that desk. This hologram again. Must be another one of the Future Foundation's emails. I should read it. There's no doubt that it's another clue. To Future Foundation 14th Division, Makoto Naegi. Oh, fuck! Where are you guys? What are you doing right now? What you're doing is a serious act of treason. Do you understand? Why are you protecting the remnants of despair? It should be abundantly clear to you how dangerous it is to keep these people alive. Stay calm and think about this carefully. You guys are being lied to. Think carefully about what's important to bring the light of hope to this world. The 6 of you joined the Future Foundation because you agreed with our ideals, right? The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy, so you The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy you survived and cooperated with recovering your memories. Immediately return the remnants of despair to our headquarters. Unless we eliminate them, the tragedy will never end. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. What does this mean? This email suggests that someone was trying to let the remnants of despair escape. This email is addressed to Makoto Naegi, but he's with the Future Foundation, right? Then why was he trying to protect the remnants of despair? Did he betray the Future Foundation? Yeah, I think before this game's over, we're gonna see Makoto as both an enemy and an ally, apparently. Okay, is there anything in the, okay, there's nothing in the bookcase, it would seem. Oh. Oh, hey, Fuyuhiko. When did you come here? What do you mean? I've been here this whole time. Huh? But it felt like there wasn't anyone else in here. You sure you're not thinking of some other room? Yeah. Well, don't worry about it. It makes sense you'd start to lose your bearings in a place like this. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, it may not be Byakuya, but at least now we do have a, at least we do have a blonde in a suit at the table, or the desk. A dangerous blonde in a suit. Okay, can't go there. Can't go there. Bathrooms are still... Damn! Wait, what the fuck? Oh. Still one more room that I haven't investigated. Yo, what? Yo, what? Huh? Didn't I walk into a classroom? I don't really get it, but, this looks like the laundry room. It's no use worrying about it, but I was in a school and now suddenly I'm in a laundry room. I can't look at the magazine? This looks like a tablet computer. Looks like the power's on, too. Is this the next clue? I picked up the tablet and immediately started examining it. Neo World Program. This word, Neo World. I seem to recall hearing it and seeing it a few times already. The Neo World Program has another name. Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. The Neo World Program is built with the most recent psychotherapy technology and administrative software. To develop the Neo World Program, individuals such as the Ultimate Programmer, the Ultimate Neurologist, and the Ultimate Therapist were among the many talented people whose research results were utilized. By mounting a device to the cranium, the Neo World Program allows its subjects to experience a synthetic virtual world. Additionally, the Neo World Program has another feature. It can replace memories formed in the real world with information contained in the synthetic virtual world. Therefore, it's possible to undo trauma sustained in the real world through the use of the virtual world. However, this device is for psychotherapeutic purposes only. Any other use is expressly forbidden. Although it's highly effective in treating brainwashing, abusing the device risks total personality destruction. Thus, extreme care must be exercised when operating this program. Slowly, everything around me turned black. Synthetic virtual world. Program. A feeling of emptiness, like everything's being tainted. A feeling of weakness, like the world is collapsing beneath my feet. Am I in the Matrix? Everything is starting to feel meaningless. The desperate attempts, the sad goodbyes, the conflicts, the trust I felt until now. It's all disappearing until all I feel is despair. I screamed loudly, as if I was confirming the sound of my own voice. There's no way I can accept this. I'm starting to accept that. There's no way something as crazy as this actually exists.
You gotta raise the flags more in order to clear my character route. Now then, despair is waiting for you.
Impossible. This is impossible. It's all made up. Everything is all made up. Made up. Including me, too? Oh. I see you hiding next to the change machine. Oh no, he's talking like a homestuck.
Hey, how are you doing? Did you enjoy the killing school trip? By the way, do you guys remember the speech I made at the beginning? From this point on, I promise you a world that truly deserves to be called a game. You guys are the only ones watching who can save them. The end of the world is nigh. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it heart-throbbing? Look forward to it.
Yeah, for those of you not versed in Leet speak, That was all real. This hallway. When we first arrived here, I walked down this hallway from the classroom to get to the gym. I don't really see a resemblance, but... I can't see shit! Are you familiar with the placebo effect and the nocebo effect? Huh? The placebo effect is when your health improves after taking a fake medicine that you believe is real. And the nocebo effect is the exact opposite. Which means, as long as the human brain controls all other bodily functions... if the brain believes something is real, it will become real. Why would you bring that up all of a sudden? Huh? Huh? I am not sure. I do not fully understand. What the heck? I'm guessing that's gonna open after I look in here. Why is it black and white? Is this floating? That's impossible. There's no way something this big will be floating like this. But what in the world is it? The moment I looked at that object... Warning, incoming game. Warning, incoming game. Welcome. Welcome to the Neo World program. Person? I missed you, Chihiro. Or is that alter ego? A floating person is talking to me. Who is it? No. Is this even a person in the first place? I'm not quite a person. I'm simply an artificial intelligence program. Okay, it is alter ego. It would make me happy if you called me alter ego. That's the name my master gave me when he created me. It can talk. But what are you? Alter ego? Artificial intelligence program? I am the master program behind the Neo World program. I'm responsible for creating and overseeing this world. However, only the observer has the authority to directly influence you guys. I can't actually exert much influence. In fact, my existence is one that you don't normally meet. I'm sort of like an apartment manager or something. I may oversee the entire apartment building, but I lack the power to manage individual rooms. But the virus has infected everything I'm supposed to be managing. And because of that, this world I'm managing is acting very peculiar. Hold on. My brain can't follow what you're saying. Let me gather my thoughts first. Damn it. It's that feeling from earlier again. This floating... I think I was supposed to say floating feeling. Like my feet are hovering above the floor. Among other things. It's like I can't feel my feet or the ground. Like I can't even believe my own existence. Hey, you should know, right? Where is this place? Tell me, what is the Neo World program? The Neo World program has omitted the data collection procedure for shaping the entire world. As such, only the data we collected during the experimental stage is being utilized. Specifically, that means the data detailing Jabberwock Island, where this research facility is located. That's why the previous Jabberwock Island cityscape was restored. Ergo, if I'm to answer your question, where is this place? The answer would be mostly Jabberwock Island. Certain portions of it are different depending on the circumstances. For example, this school you're in. It appears this space is entirely under the virus's influence. That's probably why I'm appearing before you, too. However, even without the virus, these circumstances are a bit unnatural. It seems the launch was rushed, and because of that, there wasn't enough time to collect any data. I'm sorry, but I really don't know the circumstances of the outside world. After all, I'm simply the overseer of the Neo World program. Most of its words, I understand what they meant, but I couldn't understand what was being said. Is there no way for me to acknowledge it as the truth? Or there was no way for me to acknowledge it as the truth? It would make much more sense if this was a fictional world. Wait, are you saying this world is a fictional world? I feel like I can't believe what's going on here. This missing sense of reality, all the mysteries, all the truths, they're all just fiction. Is that? Even so, I need to know. I need to know what this world is. Hey, can you tell me? Hey, can you tell me? What was the Neo World program used for in the first place? The Neo World program only serves one purpose. It's used to make the real world a splendid one. I guess you can say it's a program for creating hope. A program for creating hope? But the fact that we're here, and the fact that we don't have our memories, that's all the program's fault, right? Deleting memory is the first step toward replacing memory. Replacing memory data is one of the features of the Neo World program. With the installed memory control unit, it's possible to remove any time period you set it to. And from there, you upload the memories obtained in the virtual world. Removing memories of any time period you set it to? So Monokuma was right. We did lose our school memories. But why? Why us? Why were our school memories taken away? There's a reason for that, right? That is a mystery to me, too. Booting the program on the survivors of Hope's Peak Academy while it was still in its experimental stage, I'm sure there was a very good reason. But unfortunately, I don't know what's happening in the outside world. I'm sorry. Are you saying we're lab rats? That's the only thing I can think of. It sounds like we're just lab rats. The Future Foundation did that to us? But they're trying to save the world, right? Or is the Future Foundation not our ally? I'm sorry. I can't provide that much help. If only I was more reliable. I wouldn't have lost my authority to a virus like this. All these new words make my head feel like it's about to burst. Can you tell me more about the Observer and that virus? Well, for this reason, the Neo World program was programmed to house 15 people, along with 2 monitors. 2 monitors? Yeah, they were disguised as a teacher and one of the students. They were intended to guide the participants in this way. By the way, the Observer in the teacher role has been given the authority to influence you all. But the Observer in the student role was not. They weren't given any special authority at all, so they'd seem the same as everyone else. What kind of authority does the teacher role have? As an example, the teacher creates the rules of this world and manages them. If the teacher is properly managing the rules they've created, there's no risk of abuse. But because of the virus infecting everything, that's changed. It changed this world where violence shouldn't have existed in the first place. The Neo World program would have promised eternal peace. But just like the outside world, it's become a world filled with violence and death. What is that virus? I don't really know the details behind its true identity, but that function is beyond my capabilities. No matter how much I try to stop it, it behaves as if it already knew what I'm attempting to do. In the end, it stole the portion of my abilities which contained my authority to build the world. It was like it was a grandmaster chess player. I desperately tried to fight back so it wouldn't have complete control, but even so, a portion of the world has been modified at its convenience. She's probably talking about Monokuma Rock in the Funhouse. Based on what she's saying, it sounds like she's on the receiving end of a one-sided attack. But Alter Ego should be an impressive artificial intelligence that the Future Foundation created. But I can tell that just by communicating with her. Which means this supposed virus is so smart that it surpassed this alter ego? If so, does that virus possess an artificial intelligence just like her? Damn it, what the heck? So I think the observers that it mentioned are Monomi and Chiaki, and the virus is Monokuma. That's what I'm thinking. An artificial intelligence waging an attack against another one. That's so freaking irritating. Because you gotta remember, in the first game, Monokuma was controlled by Junko, but Junko's dead, and then after the credits, it was hinted that Monokuma had become self-aware. But how did that virus infect the Neo World program? The Neo World program exists in isolation. It's impossible it was infected through a network. I'm fairly certain someone physically uploaded it. Physically? Perhaps someone secretly brought an external memory drive containing the virus into the facility and directly uploaded it into the main computer where the Neo World program is installed. Based on my calculations, that's most likely what happened. It was brought to the Future Foundation's facility? But the only person who could enter that facility is someone who is a member of the Future Foundation. Damn it, what am I thinking? Why am I assuming what I just heard is the truth? Why am I assuming that everything is a lie? Oh, yep, those... yeah, that pretty much obliterated any ambiguity about who the observers were. But it's true that the virus is powerful and that I'm completely overwhelmed by it. But I'm still able to defend the essential areas. So it has a limit, too. A limit? If it took over an observer, then it has to follow the rules of an observer. Such as... in order to end the program and release everyone, I need to follow the correct procedure and...
Okay, even if you're just a god in a machine, that's enough hints from you. If you're gonna say something more, suppose that you exist between life and death. The death of yourself is inevitable. If so, it can be parallel to the deflection based on the definition of existence that constitutes relationship. From there, the paradigm change results in being cut off rapidly and causes a situation where your own existence is unobservable and accelerates and crosses with the joint ownership of the world in the situation of the context invites your death. Hey. Death.
Oh shit!
What the heck? What just happened?
I think that's Alter Ego talking again. Okay. Let me break out the Makoto voice. You're right there, aren't you? Someone is right there, right?
Huh? Who are you? Are you different from the earlier one? Maybe he can't hear my voice from this side.
I'm currently talking to the world through Alter Ego. Ever since you guys vanished into that space, the video's feedback has been pretty distorted. But even so, we were forced to watch you this entire time.
Huh?
The things you guys were forced to do, we were forced to watch it.
Forced to watch us?
I really want to save you right away, but because of the virus's interference, I couldn't. Our orders are no longer being accepted, including shutdown requests. The Neo World program is beyond our control now. In that world, that person created an independent country that doesn't accept outside interference. But Alter Ego created an opportunity for me to speak to you directly. If this means that's working, then it means that the person I need to talk to is right there, I hope.
Looks like this guy can't even hear me or see me. Now, who is this guy anyway? Is he our ally?
Since there's no time, I'm going to say what I need to say and believe you're there listening to me. But first, I should apologize to everyone. I know apologizing won't help, but we didn't imagine something like this would happen. We never expected such an atrocious virus was lurking inside the Neo World program. But that's entirely our fault. It's our responsibility for not realizing it until it was too late. But it's not just the virus either. I can't say for sure that the program didn't have any problems in the first place. To tell you the truth, I was unsure about whether or not to run the program on you guys. But this was the only way to save you all. I wanted to save you guys.
Save us? What do you want to save us from? Why would this save us?
You've already seen the password to enter the graduation exam ground, right? You know, 11037?
11037. That's the number we found at Nezumi Castle.
The door to the ancient ruin was supposed to open after you finished gathering all the hope fragments. From there, you guys were supposed to challenge the graduation exam. However, I prepared that password just in case something went wrong. Like I said earlier, I had my doubts that this program was perfect. Even if the chance was slim, I thought the observer might end up going rogue. That's the reason I've left that 11037 password in a place where the teacher role would not be able to go. I never thought Nagito, who saw it first, would erase that password. Anyway, I'm also the person who set the password to that number. That number contains a secret. Someone close to me left that number to save me when I was in a dilemma. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm entrusting that will to you all. I've entrusted it to your future. But that person is trying to abuse the graduation exam. I'm sure they're going to crush you with despair using the graduation exam that's waiting for you. But I want you guys to endure it without giving up on hope. I want you guys to withstand it until I get there. Because I have a secret to defeat them.
Does that mean he has a secret to defeat Monokuma?
In a worst-case scenario where an observer who has the role of a teacher goes rogue, I've prepared a hidden command to use at the graduation exam site. It's the forced shutdown sequence.
Forced shutdown sequence?
Even a teacher's authority can't stop that command. It's a way to end this so that you guys can choose on your own, independently of the observer. Which means even if they stole the teacher's authority, they shouldn't be able to stop it. If you use that, you guys will win. However, in order to start the forced shutdown sequence, you need more than half the number of people, and in order to do that, I need to somehow get that number.
Death. What was that just now? Hey, Hajime, what was that weirdness just now?
Nothing, really.
I see. Oh well. Anyway, that's all the hints you're gonna get. If that no-good artificial intelligence tells you any more useless stuff, I'm gonna butt in again.
Did Monokuma not notice what just happened? It's been a while since I've spoken at length, but it was important to talk to you. If it was worth waiting a long time here. Hey, about that guy just now. There shouldn't be anything else for you to ask me. I see. It'd be bad if Monokuma overheard us. That means Monokuma doesn't know about the conversation I had with that guy just now. You guys have a weapon. A very powerful weapon. It all depends on how you guys use that weapon. It's the only thing I can do. Is prevent the virus's invasion with all my might so you guys can use that weapon. The rest is up to you all. Do your best. Do our best, huh? But what do we have to do our best at? The mystery's getting solved. I'm finally starting to see the truth. But what are we supposed to do when that truth is really a lie? We know we're working toward a conclusion that nobody wants to hear, but still, do we really need to work hard and do our best? Is there really a reason to do our best? If everything was a lie, then isn't everything just meaningless? It's the same for the killings, too. Even though we had to experience something as painful as that, something as tragic as that, wouldn't all that be meaningless, too? When the world is flipped over and becomes so irrational, what am I supposed to do? Alright. So if my theory is correct... Yep, there it is!
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's time for the long-awaited graduation exam. Please enter the red door located on the first floor of Hope's Peak Academy. See you soon.
A red door, huh? It's just a waste of time thinking about what this all means right now. For now, I need to finish this. I need to just focus on that. Oh! Die! Damn! Oh well. I'm about to shit and fuck anyway. I'm literally inches away from the final trial. He means this red door, right? Do I just have to go in here? If I do that, will this be finished? Oh, yeah, I can't turn. only the forward and backward buttons are working. Oh, and I guess the run button too. Huh? This place. Looks like everyone's here. Seems that this is going to be the final place. However, this place is... Is this a trial field? But why is it a trial field?
It sure looks like a trial ground, but the vibe is way different from the one from before.
We've been here before, right? Yeah, this should be the place that the door at the ancient ruins leads to.
Huh. Seems pretty strange we've been in that other building up until now.
It's like we're dreaming or something. If this is a dream, then this too is very...
So you've finally arrived. Congratulations. You're the first ones to ever beat this game. After stopping by Hope's Peak Academy, you've finally come back to this place. To the graduation exam site within the ancient ruins of Jabberwock Island.
You can give it a fancy name like graduation exam site, but it's no different than the trial ground from before.
From before!
This trial field actually inspired the one from before, so in a way, this place is the original.
Who cares? This graduation exam means we can finally go home, right?
Of course, if that's what you guys decide.
And if we have to decide, what do we have to do?
Please take a look at the LCD touch panel built into your seats. Compared to the other trials, the rules are much simpler this time. There are two options, graduate and repeat, right? You just have to choose one of them and press it. All of you will cast your vote, and whichever one has the majority will be considered your final decision. If you don't press either one of them, it'll be treated as an absence and not be counted. Which means everyone who's died up until now will have their votes treated as absences.
Then the result is based on a majority vote.
If graduate is chosen by a majority vote, from there, an event that's kind of like a graduation ceremony called the graduation program will begin.
Even if we do this stupid majority vote, the result's already pretty damn obvious. Come on, let's move this along. We can press it now, right?
No, you can't do that yet. I mean, your resolve hasn't firmed yet, right? Your will to be swept away by society's harsh current?
Shut up, who the hell cares? I'm gonna press it.
My. Which of your orifices are you using to spew bile? To participate in the graduation exam, you need my final say as your teacher, you know?
What does it... Does that mean it won't end with just a majority vote?
After the vote, I'm going to judge every single one of you to see if it's okay for you to graduate or not.
So even if we vote, you're saying we won't graduate unless you acknowledge it? I'm terribly sorry for being rude earlier.
But you don't have to worry. There's no way I won't acknowledge your graduations. This is merely a formality. I'm just doing it because that's how it has to be.
He's doing it because that's how it has to be? It doesn't mean he can exert his will over everything. He too has a limit. Is this what Alter Ego was talking about?
Anyway, even if you don't want to do it, you guys still need to do it to solve the mystery. Afterward, you cast your majority votes, and from there we move on to the graduation program.
But why do we even have to go through something so dumb?
Well, that is... You said you were waiting for the main...
You said you were waiting for the main cast, right? Which means you're just stalling for time, then. Who's the main cast?
Oh, no need to worry about it. It has nothing to do with you guys.
There's no way this has nothing to do with us. We're the only ones who are involved, you know.
It doesn't matter if you're involved or not. You're just a bunch of chumps in the big picture. That's why it has nothing to do with you. Just perform your roles without complaining.
Hold on. What's with that chump comment? I can't ignore that!
Not that it's important or anything, but make sure you turn off that toy.
How dare you treat him like a toy?
I did treat it like a toy. You got a problem with that? I created everything. You're actually picking a fight with me? I'm basically a god. Just how promising can you guys be? I guess this is just the nature of life. Fine then, before you die, sear my power into your memories.
Okay. Oh shit. Even the trial prep screen is glitched out. Well, I guess this is the beginning of the end. Next episode we begin the final trial of the game. But we're gonna have to end it here for now. If you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part. And we'll see you next episode.